Hey crafty friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my craft room. If you're new here, I would love to have you click subscribe and click the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. And if you are not new here, thank you so much for joining me again. I really appreciate you spending time with me today. I wanted to share today a couple of things. Like, first of all, I'm working on a traveler's notebook layout, and I've been working in this smaller size, and let me pull out my traveler's notebook that I'm working in. I have a beautiful cover that my daughter gave me for Christmas a couple years ago, and I love this thing. It's gorgeous. It's got lots of room for putting my notebooks into, and I've got a couple extra things in here which I don't really use so much. I don't know why I have them in there. I thought I would use them, but so far I haven't. Mostly I use it to protect the notebook I'm working on. And this is my traveler's notebook. I've gone ahead and covered the outside of it with some pretty paper. I added a sticker and an embellishment that came in the workshop kit with the paper. This is the Sweet Memories scrapbook workshop kit from Close to My Heart, and it was featured I think it was featured in January. I purchased it in January and it arrived toward the end of January. It takes at least 10 days, sometimes 14 days for me to get an order from Close to My Heart. So I really like to plan my projects a month ahead of time so that I can order them and have all the supplies I need to complete my projects. So I got this workshop kit. And I didn't love this paper. I know that I should love this paper. I love the vintage feel. I just don't love the light color combo. I like some bold or contrasting colors, and I just don't feel like there's any contrast here. So I use this piece of paper as the cover for my traveler's notebook. Now I'm just using a plain, this is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. It's got a ton of sheets in it. These are lined. You can get the inside with plain pages. You can get a grid dot. You can get a graph paper style and the line style. I don't love the line style, and I didn't worry too much about what was on the inside because I mostly cover up the pages anyway. I bought a bunch of these in bulk from Amazon because I go through probably 2 traveler's notebooks a month, and I love them. I use them for all kinds of things. They're such great things to use for memory keeping. It's great to use for project planning or brainstorming, or jotting down your ideas. I love doing list making, and I just like documenting the projects and things that I'm doing. My one little word this year is handmade, so I'm documenting recipes, I'm documenting projects, which is what I'm going to do today, that I've completed during the month of February. I document stuff that I've read and newsworthy items, TV shows, movies, day trips, shopping expeditions, whatever is happening. I pretty much have all my photos scrapped from when my kids were growing up, and I don't have a pet, and I don't have grandkids yet, so ever hopeful. So it is more about the process because I love scrapbooking. I've been scrapbooking since I was a child, and I just like to keep doing it. I also feel like this serves as a way for me to use the things in my stash that I already have, plus almost every month I will purchase a new workshop kit that I try to use within the month that I've purchased it for. So my goal is to use this whole Sweet Memories kit that I got all up by the end of February so that I can move on to the Gnomes for Spring that I just ordered for March. So I'm working my way through this. So this is the traveler's notebooks that I use and I love it. I feel like I don't even put pictures on all the pages. Sometimes I do art on the pages, just art projects, or things that I've colored with alcohol markers or watercolored. Like, it's just really just like a very personal journal or art diary, or my form of memory keeping, and I really enjoy it. So at the beginning of every month, well, actually at the end of every month, I make a list of the projects that I want to complete, and I keep it reasonable. Like, I now know what I can accomplish in 1 month. I usually work on my traveler's notebook project throughout the month. I really like this size because this is a super simple layout inspired by a class I took at Studio Calico, and one of the sketches that they had there, and a new recipe that I tried. I might add sweet potato spice cake, yum, with vegan cream cheese frosting. It was delicious. So I can do a little layout like this to document something that I want to document in an hour or less. And sometimes I do several pages, sometimes I do just one, sometimes I just do one simple layout, like here's my February project list, which is really this list that I just wrote on here. I'm using up a bunch of stuff that is already in my stash, and I'm adding some new goodies that I got just for fun. And I don't have a huge stash of patterned scrapbook paper, because my goal has been for about, I don't know, 15 years maybe, not to have a whole stash of scrapbook paper. I do have some that I can pull off my shelf, but I certainly don't want something that's a foot high or more. People talk about they have a stash as high as they are tall. I don't want that. So that's what I'm working on today. And you can see the highlighted things are the projects that I've already finished, and here it is, February 8th. So I do keep my projects realistic. I always have my traveler's notebook. I always have an organizing project. I always have my 12 by 12 scrapbooking project to keep scrapbooking the current photos that I'm taking. I also have a couple small things to finish from January, and then I have 3 crochet projects because I crochet every evening while my husband and I watch TV. And then I have a sewing project, and hopefully today the rest of the supplies for that project will come so I can work on that next week. So you can see I have my list. I also have kind of a loose list of things I want to pull out and have ready, and things I want to make sure that I have before February even begins. So I type these up just because I'm a teacher, a retired teacher, and planning is a big part of a teacher's job. So it's just a habit for me now to plan my projects ahead of the month and to plan my projects ahead of each day. So, in the evenings I always think about what project I'm going to work on the next day from my list. Sometimes I pull out new projects that aren't on the list, but I'm pretty good about keeping this small so I can actually get all that stuff completed. This is like, these are for gifts or just for me, or things that are coming up. So those are what the projects are for. So as far as the traveler's notebook, I've taken a few classes at Studio Calico. I've done a variety of different challenges. Like, I've really been trying to learn a lot about traveler's notebooks. I've done a lot of the Lail by Mail Saturday list making things with Lail Konkar. Absolutely love those. I discovered her in 2020 when I discovered traveler's notebooks, and this is perfect for someone who doesn't have a whole bunch of photos left to scrapbook but still wants to keep scrapbooking, and someone who really does like to document their days or do some artsy creative thing on a fairly regular basis. Like, this is perfect for me, so this is working. So I created this this little sketch of a traveler's notebook, and I'm keeping track of my sketches. Like yesterday I worked on one from the class I took a couple summers ago. It was a couple years old, the sketch was, and I used that for my sketch yesterday. So this will be sketch number 2, and I'm just going to pull out a marker, and let's see, I have a black flare marker. Now I made one of these and tried to use a ruler to keep the lines straight. I'm not really doing anything to scale here, but then I photocopied it. So this is a photocopy, and I'm just going to call today's sketch 2. And what I have on the side here is I have some small, I have a variety of sizes cut. Like this is supposed to represent 3 by 4. These are supposed to represent 2 by 2. I use a lot of tabs and labels and sentiment strips, so I have those. This is a bigger square, maybe 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. And then again 3 by 4, and then a skinnier version of 3 by 4. So today, oh, and I also created a little title piece and a journaling box because I like to try to include those. And I generally don't put my embellishments on my, sometimes I do. When I'm all done, I will create the sketch. But I did this because I have 3 photos I want to use. This is a crochet project. I just started crocheting in October. I started out with those Woobles kits or Wobbles kits. I can't remember whether it's Woobles or Wobbles. I did a whole bunch of them in like a 2-week period, and then I started watching videos to make some simple YouTube videos to make some simple Christmas ornaments. And the next thing I know, I was watching videos to make hats, so everybody got hats. I made my daughter a winter scarf, and I made them some sewing projects, and then I'm making afghans, and I tried granny squares. This is my second granny square. This is a baby blanket. Isn't that cute? I'm so proud of it. It actually turned out beautiful, and I took this a photo of it. It's pretty big for a baby blanket. It's going to be a small child blanket. That's the blanket folded up, and I took a picture of the edging I did because I watched a video and then I modified the edge she taught to work for the blanket that I made, and I really love the way that came out. So I have these photos I want to use today, but to think about a layout, I pulled out and I save these and use them over and over. When they get raggedy, I'll cut some more. So I like to kind of lay out, and I find it easier to do it like this. So I thought I would put this larger photo on this page, and then maybe something like this over here. Now these are not to any kind of proper scale. I'm not going to pretend that they are, but it kind of gives me an idea of what I want to do. So I thought I would do some sentiment strips, and I sort of like them to be, I really like the whole visual triangle thing. So I've got my photos in this visual triangle. So if I do something like this with labels and strips, I can actually get that visual triangle, and I feel like it's balanced. And then I can add some journaling in a title, or title and journaling, something like that, so I can talk about the blanket that I made. And I definitely want to do something like this. Like this is my layout. So I'll just trace around these with a pencil, and then I'll come back and draw them in with my marker, and that will be my second sketch for the month. So I'm trying to make a collection of sketches for myself so I can have a book that I can flip through and have some inspiration in that book. And I always feel pretty excited about it. So this is sort of what I want to do. I don't know that there will be as much white space or whatever, but here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this aside, bring my traveler's notebook back in, and I already have something up here. I can flip to a different page if I want to. But I think I'm good with this. I think the colors will work with what I'm doing, and I think I need to grab some clips here. I don't know what happened to all my Traveler's Notebook clips. I usually hold it open. Now, one thing that I did at the end of February was I pulled out some supplies that I thought would work with the Sweet Memories kit, and I have this great clear bin, and you can see it's got three spaces. I got it at the dollar store. I don't know which one. I wish I'd gotten two, although having only one forces me at the end of the month to clean it out, put everything away, and then pull out the stuff for the next month. I always have my favorite adhesives in here. I pulled out stamp sets and thin cuts. I pulled a bunch of stuff from my stash that I thought I might use, stickers and stuff. I'm trying to use up my stash. I've got scrap papers in here. I've got scrap papers from the Sweet Memories kit that I've already made scrapbook layouts. I've got lots of white cardstock, scraps, puffy stickers, all kinds of things, labels. I've got tags and some embellishments I thought worked with the kit that I ordered. I pulled out some washi tapes and colors I thought might work. I've got twine. I did go ahead and use the coordinating stamp sets that I got with the scrapbook workshop to create some title pieces that I could use on either scrapbook layouts or traveler's notebooks, and I die cut everything out, so I really do have some things I can use. I've got leftover branding strips from the Sweet Memories kit and from other papers that I thought worked here with that, and sometimes I cut those up and use those like these little green strips that I put on the photos. Sometimes I use those there. So this is really helpful. Here's some embellishments that came with the workshop kit. I pulled out a stencil, which I'm loving with this particular kit. I also have some mix-in papers because I've used all but one sheet of paper from this kit already. So I've got this, I've got some leftover of this that I could use. So these are the papers that I'm thinking that I want to use. I love the mix-in patterns. I feel like the mix-in patterns from Close to My Heart are super easy to use always. This month the colors are very subtle because they kind of coordinate with the kits in that January-February catalog. So there's a lot of pastels in that catalog. Not really my thing, but I'm trying to embrace it. So I have these papers, and I have a little bit of one of the other mix-in papers left that I've been using. And then I pulled some scraps out from my scrap bin, and I have those also. So I've got these things. Actually, maybe I'll use the pink and the blue. So I'm just going to trim this pink down. Pink is one of the colors on the Scrapbook Workshop kits. And at the end of the month, I'll go through this bin and put everything away and decide whether, at that point, I'll decide whether the papers are worthy of being saved again. And I'm just going to cut this down to 8x4, which will still leave a little of the journaling page. Like, more than likely, I won't keep these papers, but for now, they're going to go in here because, again, they can act as little sentiment strips. I can stamp on them, or I can journal on them and put them in the notebook. Alright, so what do I have here? I have this paper on this side. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's do this. I'm just going to bring some adhesive in and adhere that there. And I'm going with the bolder side of the blue just because everything is so light. I really like the bolder colors. Okay, so I've got that. I wouldn't hate a little tone on tone. I don't have any idea what color this is. It almost feels like it could be a it almost feels like it could be ballerina. Because here's the mulberry, which is one of the colors in the paper. I could use that. Here's the ballerina if I want a more tone on tone. I actually think I'm going to go with the ballerina. And let's do a little bit of ink blending on here. Fun little background, and I can always change it to mulberry. I'll start with the lighter of the colors that I was thinking would work here, and I'm just going to add a few spots of this. Oops, I just moved it. I should be taping this down, of course, but I don't know what happened to my green tape. I think I need to get some more green tape. Probably should just start using washi tape for that kind of thing, right? And use up some of the washi tape in my stash. I feel like washi tape is one of those things that no matter how much you use, it never goes away. And so, like, to use a little bit of washi tape would probably be a service to my washi tape drawer. Okay, so I've got some spots of that. I'm not going to do it on this side, I don't think. I'll just drop that off to the side. So that was ballerina ink with one of my blender brushes, and I love it. Alright, so I definitely know I want to do this here, and I definitely know I think I want the square one up here. I want this one down here. So these are a little smaller than what my thing looked like. I think I want this down here though. Maybe not. Maybe we'll put it right in the middle. Actually, off to the side, and this one can go in the middle, or I can move it over to the side also. I think I like that one in the middle. Okay, so I like that. Now, I've got a couple other things I definitely want to use. Like, this morning before I started, I decided I want to have this say baby blanket. And I have enough letters to do this with these two. I'm basically I pulled these out of my stash. When I first started getting back into scrapbooking, I bought a bunch of puffy alphabets and phrases, and I need to use them because it's really dragging on me. I definitely want to use this. This is Life's a Hoot card making stamp set, and I do want to add some fun details. So I'm going to pull this out, put that off to the side. I got some puffy stickers here this is from Studio Calico. Again, I've had these for a while. I got these on clearance. I'm going to add a few stickers there. And I pulled out some phrases I have in both white and black. I'll decide which ones I want to use. And I'm loving these, this page of labels. I've got actually a couple pages here. These are from those pads you get at like Michael's. And when I first got back into scrapbooking in 2020, I bought these pads. So I've started pulling the pages out of, I only bought 3 or 4 of them, which was probably 3 too many. So I'm using them. If I didn't have these, what I have instead is I have dies and thin cuts. I have thin cuts that cut these shapes, and I make my own, and I really enjoy making my own, but I really want to get these out of my stash. So I've got these things. got this. I know what my title is going to be. And I do want to do a little bit of stamping. And I am going to mark where I have... One thing that I find helpful is having a good pencil and a good pencil eraser. This is a Pentel mechanical pencil. Oops, I just moved it. But I'm just going to mark the corner of this, or a couple corners of this, and it's easily erasable. So I have some reference. So I can add some of these stamped circles. Now, I have to decide what color, and I do have some blocks out and ready to go. Some things just never get put away on my desk, and these are some of the things that never get put away. Where'd my other small block go? I don't know what happened to it. I'll just pull these two out. I love these because it gives me some interesting patterns, and I love having the circles. This might be too big for this block. Yes, I'll need a bigger block for that one. But I really love having some of the circles around. I like this a lot. And the splatter is nice. Like, these are nice things to have. This is a nice stamp set to have for, you know, journaling notebooks or whatever you have in your stash. Alright, so I'm going to pull this out, and I think I just want to do, I think I'm going to pull out this charcoal color and see how that works. I also have this that's pretty fun that I could use, and I have some tags here too, so I can have that stuff. And this is new. Like, I really work hard to watch out for things that are on clearance so that I can actually add stuff like this to my stash. So I've got those, and then I can add some fun, and I'll add a little lighter one down here. So that's pretty subtle when you do the double stamping. So again, I'll add here and maybe up here. Okay. And so let's do some splatter. They're just kind of fun details to add to your scrapbook layouts. There we go. Just adding some things. There we go. So adding a little stamping lets you use some of the things that you bought that you loved. I mean, you wouldn't have purchased it if you didn't love it. So that's a good thing. I'm going to put these in place now. And try to cover up the pencil marks. This pencil mark is not going to get covered up. So I'm going to just erase this one. Okay, and then this one. And again, there we go. And add the final one back in. Just erase these marks, because I covered up one corner on each one, and there we go. So that's back in. Let's add our I want to do baby blanket, and I did find 2 B's on here. And I do find that the old puffy stickers do need some liquid glue. So before I am done for the day, I will add some liquid glue off camera. You don't need to watch me fuss with tweezers and glue. And I'll try to get these straighter. These aren't really going to stick on there right now anyway. And let's do blanket. Okay, so there's that. I definitely want to do some journaling here. And I am going to bring in just my flare marker and add some lines. Now I do have a couple of stamp sets that have lines that I could use here instead. There we go. And I want to add some, I think I'm going to add the darker color. I really liked this Create. I liked this From the Heart. Actually, I think I want to label up there. And then I liked this, I like this Tell Your Story and Noteworthy. And I like the visual triangle of the photos, and then I'll have the visual triangle of the labels, and I like that. I feel like it pulls it together. So I have these. I could use a half of one of these. This polka dot one is super cute. Let's see. I also like I've got the minty green color here. I feel like the minty green color is pretty nice. But I think I'm going to go with this black and white one. I actually really like this. And I can cut this right in half. And then I can use the other one on another page. And I've been trying to add some, to my pages, I've been trying to add some artistic detail so that it puts a little bit of me right into that page. And I just want to add this like this. There we go. And it allows me to use the stuff that I purchased and have in my stash already. Like, the only thing that's new here is the paper, and everything else is from my stash. Like, I've actually had this a while, and this is the first time I've used it. So I'm pretty excited that I'm actually making use of a stamp set I really liked. That was why I purchased it. So, you know, feel good about what you're doing there by using what you have. Now I could add another one of those on the other page, but I want to add some puffy stickers, and I had pulled out these pink ones, but I don't love the pink on pink, so I definitely need some embellishments that I will like on both pages. I do have these little paper dots, but again, I don't feel thrilled with them, but I do have the polka dot ones. Like, there's some black and white, ones I could use if I wanted to, but I'm not feeling it. And then I got some, oh wait, let me see what I have in here, because I really loved the stuff that actually came with. Oh, these are really pretty. I could do that. There's little wooden hearts. Lots of wooden hearts here. And then there's little flowers. I think I might do the little flowers. What's in here? Camera, swirls, arrows. I could do something like that. I separated them so I could use them easier. So here is, ooh, love this. I love these kinds of details. Okay, again, triangle. I want something over here. I could put it down. I kind of like the idea of putting it up. But I've got 3, so it pulls your eye around the page. I actually like those. And I think that I'm going to add my journaling. I'm going to attach these. And my favorite way to attach these is with the glue dots. And I'm hoping I have enough color on here. Like, the only real color I have is the photos. I forgot where I had this. The photos and the background papers. Everything else is just black and white. But that kind of works for me. There we go. And that's pretty fun. So I've used up all the ones that I had in here. I'll put that away now. And I'm going to put this one back in here. Put these back in here. And that's going to complete my page, my friends. So you can see how this little planning tool really helped me, and how pulling out stuff, having stuff pulled out from my stash, kept me focused on what materials I wanted to use and what materials in my stash I wanted to use. So that's pretty fun. So I can go back and add more splatter if I want to in different places, but I think I'm going to call it a day on that one, and I feel good about using some of the new stuff that I got, and I feel good about using a lot of the old stuff that I got. So I'm creating and using up my stash, and I'm making projects that I feel like are really useful, and I'm documenting my projects and my days and fun things that are going on in a creative way for me. So that is what really works for me. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find this helpful and inspiring. I would love to know what kind of creative things you're doing right now, and I hope you find time to do something creative every day. So thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. It would really help me out a lot. Let me know below in the comments what projects you're working on, and thank you so much for watching, friends. Have a great day.